IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with the discovery of America. Did you know that Christopher Columbus was not the first European to sail to North America? A Norse explorer called Leif Ericson apparently sailed and discovered a sea route to America. And this was way back in 1000 AD. So according to the Norse sagas, he established a settlement in what is called Vinland. This was around Newfoundland in Canada. And the settlement was there for quite a while according to carbon dating. Now, what I found interesting is that Leif's father was Eric the Red, a very famous Norseman who had founded the Norse settlement in Greenland. So clearly exploring ran in his blood. Currently, I've been watching a lot of Viking shows on Netflix, and I found it so amazing the way that exploring was portrayed. You just get in a boat and take off sailing to discover a new world, not knowing what you will find. That sense of adventure and unknown is missing in our lives today. Nowadays, we want to see proof before we explore. Prove it to me, and then I will think about it. And I recognized this when I was talking to a friend yesterday. We were discussing something about spirituality, and she was saying that she needs for it to be proved before she's willing to explore it. I did some research and learned that this style of thinking is born from science. Our society today is built on the basis of science, and hence that style of thinking has seeped into our everyday language. If it can't be proven, it does not exist. If it can't be repeated as an experiment, it is faulty. And I am exactly like that, when I think about it, because I want to see the science behind all the changes that I make in my life. I want to see the science behind the habits I share with you on this podcast. But there are times when there is no proof. There are times when you have to put on a little explorer hat and just dive in. Like those brave Norsemen sailing out into sea, not knowing what they will find. It is this spirit of exploring that helps us achieve new things in life. If we do not explore, we become stagnant. We remain the same. Now, in a world that is growing, where we remain the same, we are technically moving backwards. And as your habit coach, I want to ask you, when was the last time you did something new? When you went exploring, not knowing what you will find, not knowing where it will lead you. A great habit to start off as an explorer is to ask the question, I wonder. For example, I wonder what is the new dish on this menu here. I wonder if there is a different route I can take to office. I wonder what I will learn from this new online course. As a fun way of exploring this I wonder, what I like to do is have a questioning expression on my face and then rub my chin while I ask the question I wonder. It just adds a little drama to all of it. So your super simple habit to become an explorer and seek out new things in life starts by just wondering. Get into the habit of saying, I wonder what, I wonder who, etc. Bring out your inner explorer and watch your life expand as the known world did at the hands of the Norse explorers. I can almost visualize Leif Ericson standing at the shore, looking out at the sea, rubbing his chin and saying, I wonder. Or probably more accurately, in Norwegian, that would be, Jeg lurer. Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Ayushi, Shreyas, and Antrix talk about the IITIM Shadi.com endeavor and the newly conceived male contraceptive pills. We have a brand new show. It's a Marathi show called Akhand Bharat. Host Sanya Mane is an Indologist, and she takes us back to Vedic times and offers us the history and origin of many myths. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam introduces us to Manesh Mahatme, Director Payments, WhatsApp India. Together, they map out the success of digital payments in India. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik speaks to Shubham Nag. He's the creator of the community Tattoo Culture. On the Life Manifesto, Zarina shares how one can go about building a strong character with good value system. And on the Habit Coach, Ashdin explains the subtle but important difference between listening and hearing. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on, including the one you're listening to us on now. And also, please do check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels. They're all available on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. We're also doing a small listener survey to help us understand you, the listener, better, and how you like our shows, how you respond to the advertising, and so on. We'd really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It's at ivmpodcast.com/survey. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Are you looking for finance products and services that can enhance your personal finance experience? Are you looking for a space to talk about your financial product or service? And are you looking for a crisp talk show where the conversation is all about money? Well, your search ends here. Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta and I'm host of the Paisa Vaisa podcast, and I invite you for the conversation about your personal finance on each Monday on the IVM Podcast app or the website or on any podcast streaming platforms. See you folks.